Most people don't fail because they are lazy. They fail because their life is running on default. They wake up, react to problems, answer messages, scroll, complain, rush, get tired, sleep, and repeat the same thing tomorrow. And the scary part is this: you can be busy every single day, but still not be moving toward the life you actually want. You can work hard, but still feel stuck. You can have goals, but still keep making the same choices that pull you away from them. So the real question is not, how do I become successful overnight? The real question is, what habits would make me the kind of person who naturally builds a better life? Because success is not just about one big decision. It is built from small choices repeated every day. Here are 7 habits that can completely change the way you think, work, and live. The first habit is to take responsibility for your life. This sounds simple, but it is one of the hardest things to do because it is easier to blame. Blame your boss, blame your parents, blame the economy, blame your country, blame your past, blame your schedule. And yes, some of those things may really affect your life. But if you focus only on what you cannot control, you slowly give away your power. You start believing that life is just happening to you. But effective people think differently. They ask, what can I do about this? They don't waste all their energy complaining about things outside their control. They focus on their response. You may not control what happens today, but you can control your attitude. You can control your effort. You can control your next decision. You can control how you speak. You can control what you learn. You can control whether you give up or keep improving. The more you focus on what you can control, the stronger you become. The second habit is to begin with the end in mind. Many people are climbing fast, but they never ask if the ladder is leaning on the right wall. They work hard, chase money, impress people, buy things, follow trends, but they never stop to ask, what kind of life am I actually building? Imagine your future self looking back at your life. What would matter? Would it be the approval of strangers? Would it be the expensive things you bought just to look successful? Would it be the hours you wasted comparing yourself online? Probably not. Your future self would care about your health, your peace, your relationships, your growth, your character, your purpose. Beginning with the end in mind means you don't just live for today's mood, you live with direction. Before you say yes to something, ask, is this taking me closer to the life I want? Before you spend money, ask, is this helping my future or just feeding my ego? Before you waste time, ask, will I be proud of this choice later? When you know where you are going, it becomes easier to decide what deserves your time. The third habit is to put first things first. This means doing what matters most, not just what feels urgent. Because life will always give you distractions, messages, notifications, random problems, other people's requests, small tasks that make you feel productive but don't really change anything. And if you are not careful, your entire day will be controlled by noise. Effective people protect their priorities. They don't just ask, what do I need to do today? They ask, what is the most important thing I need to do today? Maybe it is exercise. Maybe it is studying. Maybe it is saving money. Maybe it is working on your business. Maybe it is spending time with the family. Maybe it is finally fixing a problem you keep avoiding. The important things are usually not loud. They don't always feel urgent, but if you ignore them long enough, they become painful. Your health becomes a problem. Your money becomes a problem. Your relationship becomes a problem. Your future becomes a problem. So don't build your life around distractions. Build it around priorities. Do the important things before your energy is gone. The fourth habit is to think win-win. Many people see life like a competition where someone has to lose for them to win. They compare. They get jealous. They try to prove they are better. They hide information. They pull others down. But this mindset comes from insecurity. A better mindset is win-win. This means you look for solutions where both sides can benefit. In work, this means you don't just ask, how can I get what I want? You also ask, how can this be fair and useful for the other person? In relationships, you don't try to control everything. You try to understand, respect, and build together. In business, you don't just chase profit, you create value. Win-win thinking is powerful because people remember how you make them feel. If people feel used, they will avoid you. But if people feel respected, they will trust you. And trust is one of the greatest assets you can build. The fifth habit is to understand first before trying to be understood. Most people don't really listen. They just wait for their turn to speak. While the other person is talking, they are already preparing their reply. They want to correct. They want to explain. They want to defend themselves. But effective communication starts with understanding. Before you give advice, listen. Before you judge, listen. Before you react, listen. Sometimes people don't need your perfect answer. They need to feel heard. This habit can change your relationships with your family, with your partner, with your friends, with your coworkers. Because when people feel understood, they become less defensive. The conversation becomes calmer. The connection becomes stronger. And after you understand them, they are more likely to listen to you. So instead of saying, no, you're wrong, try this. Why do you feel that way? Instead of interrupting, let them finish. Instead of assuming, clarify. Listening is not weakness, it is emotional discipline. The sixth habit is to work with others. Some people think success means doing everything alone. But the truth is, great things are usually built with other people. You have strengths. Other people have strengths too. When you combine different skills, ideas, and perspectives, you can create something better than what person could create alone. But this only works if you remove your ego. You don't always have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't always have to get the credit. You don't always have to prove that your idea is the best. Sometimes the best result comes from combining ideas. Your experience plus their experience. Your creativity plus their discipline. Your vision plus their technical skill. Your energy plus their wisdom. Working well with others doesn't mean agreeing with everything. It means respecting differences enough to find a better solution. The seventh habit is to keep sharpening yourself. Imagine using the same dull knife every day and wondering why cutting becomes harder. That is what happens when you don't take care of yourself. You become mentally tired, physically weak, emotionally drained, spiritually empty. And then you wonder why life feels heavy. Sharpening yourself means renewal. You take care of your body. You move. You rest. You eat better. You take care of your mind. You read. You learn. You think. You take care of your emotions. You spend time with good people. You reflect. You forgive. You take care of your spirit. You reconnect with your values. You remember why you are doing all this. Because you are not a machine. You cannot keep pushing forever without recovery. Growth requires effort, but it also requires renewal. So when you feel stuck, maybe you don't need to work harder. Maybe you need to sharpen yourself, to reset, to learn, to rest, to become stronger from the inside. And when you put all these habits together, you start living differently. You stop blaming everything. You start taking responsibility. You stop drifting. You start living with direction. You stop reacting to every distraction. You start protecting your priorities. You stop seeing people as competition. You start building better relationships. You stop talking just to be right. You start listening to understand. You stop trying to do everything alone. You start working better with others. You stop neglecting yourself. You start growing on purpose. The truth is, changing your life does not always require a dramatic transformation. Sometimes it starts with one honest decision, one better response, one clear priority, one difficult conversation, one small habit repeated again and again. You don't need to become perfect. You just need to become more intentional because your habits are quietly building your future. The only question is, are they building the future you want? If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe.